Financial pros, they're wrong, man. Get a credit card, man. Don't you dare get a credit card. It's dramatic. Sorry, that was probably unnecessary. Might have too many credit cards. Get a 30-year loan. No, man. Get a 15-year loan. You should buy a house. No, man. You should rent a house. All debt is terrible. Nah, man. There's some debt that's really good. Tax refunds are dumb. Nah, man. Getting one's great. All right, look. Advice from financial pros. I say it's wrong because this is what I mean. It differs. They potentially disagree with each other. Now, you have to make up your mind when you're listening to the financial pros, which one fits better with your lifestyle, your goals, what you're trying to do, because you're kind of individual. So you're gonna find that advice from pros differs. And the reason is because people's goals are different. Their perspective is different. The way that they look at things is different. The answer is not absolute. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. All right, so in this video, I'm going to go through 7 of these items to make you think and help you decide, okay, when I hear the pros talk about these, how do I live? What are my goals? It's not to give you the absolute answers, but I want you to be thinking. Also, in this video, I'm going to be putting up a secret link on the video at some point, so make sure that you're watching. What that gets you is an opportunity to win a free hour of consultation. I love doing this once a month. I like connecting with people. We can talk about business, side hustles, real estate, personal finance, anything that you're thinking through or you need another partner to help kind of coach you or think through. That's what that's for, so be on the lookout for that. Let's get started. All right, that first big one, credit cards. Think through it. You'll hear it both ways. Credit cards are terrible. Cut them up. Credit cards are awesome. I make money. I personally make money every year with credit cards. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars just simply by our everyday purchases. We do it by putting our credit cards on auto payment. We pay them in full every month, and we get points back every year on the things that we already buy. If you want a link to my favorite credit cards, I'll put it down in the description. You have to be diligent and you have to pay off your credit card every month. If you pay 18%, 12%, 20% interest, you're defeating the purpose of what I'm talking about with that strategy. Second biggest one is probably a 30-year loan versus a 15-year loan. What should I do? I should get the shorter loan, the longer loan, the lower interest, the higher interest. Either one of these can be a great solution. This one I'm going to save because it's actually going to be the next video that's up, and I just want to talk about it specifically, but this is a huge topic. Next one, all debt is bad, be debt free. So I used to actually be on this boat where personally I said, I hate debt, I don't want any debt, but debt can actually allow you leverage, right? So it's the same reason why people that want to be doctors go to medical school, hundreds of thousands of dollars of student debt. But once they become a doctor, they make, whatever, $200,000, $300,000 in their profession. They can pay their loans back within a couple of years or a number of years. And that's it's a good return on investment. The lenders are willing to lend for this. They want to borrow for this. Same when you're buying multiple real estate properties. So if you have $100,000 or whatever, however much cash, in my market, you could buy a property with that. It's a rental property, you own it free and clear, you make money, that's awesome. But potentially you could buy 5 rental properties with the same amount of money by putting 20% down and buying 5 properties at $100,000 each and using that money as down payments. As long as all the properties are going to cash flow, you're really paying off those mortgages probably within 15 years, and then you have 5x the amount of return at that point. So in that sense, the debt is really leverage. So again, it can go either way. You have to choose for yourself. All right, number 4, what about getting a big tax refund? You get excited, you get a bunch of cash back. What does this actually mean? If you get a refund back from the US government that you owe taxes to, it means that you paid them too much and you're actually getting that money back. Now there's different cases, scenarios to this where maybe you didn't pay and you get money back. That's, that's a credit. Or maybe you owe the government at the end of the year, which typically I typically owe. A lot of times I have to write some sort of check to the government, and people get frustrated at that. But what does it mean? It means that you were actually able to retain the cash during the year and use it as you saw fit. Maybe you had the ability to make an investment and make money on that money, well, then you owe that at the end of the year to the IRS. But if you owe the money, it just means you were able to use the funds. If you're paid back money, it means that they were able to use the funds during the year. Food for thought. All right, what about this one? Always get a 401k match. Always max this out at your company. Potentially a good idea, right? But look at it closer. What percentage is the company matching your funds? What is it that the company is actually investing that 401k in that they're matching? I mean, is it something that you think is a good investment? Do you know what it's invested in? Is it, I don't know, is it well diversified? So these are things that you just have to look at before just jumping and diving in. But in general, I would say on this one, I actually see it as free money, and I think it's a great idea. Another big one, you'll hear professionals argue about your home as an investment. Is it not an investment? Is it an investment? So the argument goes this way, right? They say it's not an investment because, well, it doesn't produce any positive cash flow, and that the appreciation historically on homes is relatively low. It's actually slow. It barely outpaces inflation. But the folks that argue, hey man, it is the best investment ever, it's probably for folks, it's like a forced savings account, right? Because if you're gonna live in this property for say 20 years and stay put for maybe even 30 years, you're paying down a mortgage over time. You would have had to live somewhere, so probably pay some rent. So maybe it's not the best investment, like you could have actually gotten a higher return elsewhere, but you're kind of forced, right? You were forced to make this investment, and at the end of 30 years, you have this property that's free and clear, and you now have this asset that is a great investment. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, you should watch this next video on about a 30-year loan versus a 15-year loan. I'm gonna give you my detailed thoughts on it. We'll go from there.